Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, we welcome you in. Glad you're along. Frangie Carlyon in La Selva. There's a new drug today, Carlyon.
What you got?
Controversy.
Wow.
On Coney Island.
Oh, yes. Big story.
Big? That's an insult to the word big.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you what. Maybe you didn't know this. 16-time champion. Won the last 8 in a row. Kobayashi. What do you got to say about that, Kobayashi? Joey Chestnut has been banned from this year's hot dog eating contest. What is the world coming to? Look, I knew the world was in a tough place. I would think we've all known that, right? We're all trying to grasp the hate in the world today, the divisiveness, the division of the world, the right and the left, and everybody angry. But I never saw this coming.
We didn't need this.
I mean, not now. Not where we are now.
In an election year?
In an election year.
We need to come together, man.
It's not going to be the same.
Joey Chestnut was banned. I'll get to the Jags and other stuff in a minute. Joey Chestnut was banned by Major League Eating, the MLE. I'm not making that up. It's called the MLE.
They've got a commissioner and everything.
Okay.
It's really great.
They were banned by the MLE for representing a competitor of Nathan's, Impossible Foods, who provide plant-based foods.
Yeah.
What was he thinking?
Yeah. I don't know that you want to eat something made by Impossible Foods. I kind of like
I've
my
had an
foods
Impossible
to be
burger
possible.
before. And let me just say this. You can downgrade or degrade America. You can degrade like your mom.
Wow.
But you don't downgrade Nathan's, okay?
Yeah.
That's over the line, Hays.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's not asking to eat them during the competition. All it was is he's their spokesman. And they're like, no, you're our apparently he got paid $200,000 to attend last year's.
So awesome.
So I guess like every year he gets around $200,000.
And Major League Eating, the MLE, said that they're very disappointed because they agreed to all the requirements and questions of his management team. Joey's got a management team.
Yeah, they said over the last few years he's not exactly the easiest guy to work with. He has
he's
lots
a total diva.
Yeah, he has.
These hot dog guys, total divas. They're worse than the receivers.
So maybe now we can finally get the Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi, what we had 15-plus years ago.
I guess, because this is just, I don't know how I'm going to do 2 hours of radio after hearing that. I mean, and it broke right before we came on. I mean,
that's the thing.
If I had time,
if
I had time
to process,
there's no time.
Right.
I mean, I've got to do a show now.
Yeah.
This couldn't have happened at 1 today.
I've got to figure out what we're doing this summer because on a personal level, this really hurts. We were planning a family pilgrimage.
Well, of course.
To see Chestnut compete.
And reading the story, I realize now, who didn't, that he's got all the Major League Eating records. Okay? So that allowed me to also realize that they have records.
Yeah.
This is
like you said, he's a 16-time world champ. I mean, that's Ric Flair good.
He's won the last 8 in a row. I mean, nobody won any of that. Who won any of that?
Well, we have update from Darren Ravel, everyone's favorite sports / business insider.
Yes.
So he says, to address the biggest news of the day, despite reports Joey Chestnut is, in all caps, not banned from the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest.
Whoa.
He made an endorsement decision to support a competitor. Major League Eating still hopes he'll change course. So they're leaving the door open for Joey to say, hey, Impossible Foods, I don't want you anymore.
Oh, so he wasn't banned. He was only banned if he doesn't go walk away.
He banned himself, basically, yes.
Joey, walk away.
I mean, we've already had this with the PGA Tour and Live. Now we've got it with our hot dog eating contest.
Impossible
America
Foods
needs this
is
guy.
the Saudis.
Yeah, if Impossible Foods is owned by the Saudis, we've got a real problem here.
Wow. The Live of hot dog eating is reared its head on a Tuesday.
Is there like an interview we can play, like something? Just so I mean, is there
a best
is
of?
there? Is it? I mean, this is
to regain our composure.
Yeah, I mean, put in yesterday's show.
Yeah, this.
We do have Tyler Lacey. We can play
Thank
now.
goodness. Tyler never was so
Unfortunately,
important.
it's not a 41-minute interview.
But let's play Tyler Lacey and Stairway to Heaven. That would, okay.
you go.
That's how we'll get through it. So, all right. So, Joey
Wow.
Chestnut,
Well,
man.
thank you for giving me that update.
Does it show what a star he is, though?
Sadness.
That, like,
Yeah.
this is a massive story.
You know, I will tell you, joking aside just for a moment, I did get a chuckle out of the fact that everywhere you look, there's a story breaking about a hot dog eating guy. It really was. Everywhere you looked today, I said, oh, goodness. All right, some other stories not nearly as important. We'll certainly talk about the Jags today, what we saw at practice. Caitlin Clark missing the Olympic team out. We didn't talk about that. I got a thought or two about that. The SEC TV schedule's out.
Love it.
I love the fact that the colleges often try to mimic what the professional level does in whatever sport. College always follows the NFL's leader quite often. Sometimes it's the other way around, but mostly it's that way. But telling your college football fan, we want you to pay thousands for tickets, sometimes way more than that for donations. We really want you to travel because nobody travels like college football fans. We want you to travel 6-7 hours in your RV and bring 10,000 people to road games. But, oh, by the way, we're not telling you what time that game starts until 6 days out or 12 days out.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was a bad plan.
So the SEC took the lead at least, and there's still some flex possibilities in there. So they didn't tell you every game, but they told you a lot of games, and they gave you an idea of even when the flex games.
I was going to say, because even the flex games are like either 6 o'clock or 8:30, correct?
Right.
So
That's
I mean, at least you know it's going to be early evening. But yeah, I mean, I think this is just a reflection of the synergy now in college football, particularly with the SEC, because their new TV deal, it's not segmented like it was before, where CBS had the top game and then ESPN and everybody else sort of filled in behind that. So you had two different TV partners you were working with, and one clearly had the sponsor of the, quote, big game that they wanted. So now everything is on the same team. I mean, ABC, ESPN, it really doesn't matter to them what channel it's on. It's all, going to the same pool. And so, yeah, I think it's great. I mean, it's fantastic to know that, the November kickoff time, it's makes it so much easier to plan. So yeah, it's a great thing, and I was really excited to see it.
Yeah. So it really was. So we'll certainly talk about that, and we'll go through some of the kick times, including the Gator kick times, coming up in just a bit. We'll talk some NBA. Porzingis JJ might be down. That's the news of today.
I saw a very rare injury, and I was not happy about that. Although they say he's day-to-day, but I mean, what does that mean? That means nothing. So I'm worried. Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely stressed.
Yeah. Hays told me earlier he would hate to see that. He wants to beat you at full strength.
Yes.
That's what he was telling me earlier.
I would take no pleasure at all.
Yeah, he told me that.
And backing my way into surviving.
Yeah.
The guy on the
saliva
Mavs
was dripping down his mouth as he smirked when he said that.
The quote guy on the Mavs might be so bad that I'm still in this.
He might be.
that guy's on the Mavs.
And the bad guy on the Mavs is like amazing to me because he's at least scoring something.
Yeah.
Unlike Tyler Hero last year, who just basically decided I'm not going to play in the NBA Finals.
Oh goodness! So you could go back to back.
I could.
You could go NBA back to back.
Yeah, I think I'm probably looking that way. But I will say, to hear that Porzingis, he's already had a durability issue in his career. So, and this injury is not related to the calf injury.
It sort of is. It's on the same leg.
Is it? I read that it was not related to it at all.
Okay, I saw it was on the same leg. I don't know. They're still like, did he get it because he was like overcompensating for his injury? I have no idea.
Well, and that could certainly be the case. But so it is something certainly to monitor. I mean, we'll see. I also saw where this is an NBA Finals of attrition because. Did you see the story where Luka has been taking pain-killing injections?
Yeah, right before the game.
Right before the game to be able to get through it. So
he had a wrap on every single part of his body in our team warm-ups. I think that We just talked yesterday. Hays was saying, listen, we do this all the time when a team goes up 2 games and they haven't even played a road game yet, and we act like the series is over. If Kristaps is not playing,
I agree,
and they have 2 home games,
Right.
the series is still wide open.
It's certainly, if not wide open, certainly not over. Right. I
Not
agree
like we thought it was yesterday.
Yeah, I agree with that. If that's the other thing, other than thinking about how JJ wouldn't be very happy about it, as far as the real basketball goes, if you're going back to Dallas, and if they truly didn't have him at all for 2 games, it's not over. I do believe that. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk some Jaguars. The play of the day today involved the crossbar.
It was so funny.
Wasn't that good?
So great.
Describe the play.
So
because we all cracked up.
Yeah.
Right
So
after.
Mac,
You were
they're doing red zone work, and so they're probably scrimmaging from the 10 or 15, something like that.
Yep.
And Mac Jones takes his drop. He really does throw a nice.
I mean, he really.
He has
throws a beautiful.
He
ball.
has been impressive. But he fires this ball into the back of the end zone. It's a little high, and the ball hits the upright. And in the indoor, they don't have the bottom piece of the upright. It's supported
Correct.
from the roof. So it makes an odd situation look even odder.
The crossbar.
So the ball hits the crossbar, bounces way up into the air, probably 25 feet into the air, and comes down about, I'd say, 2 feet inside of the goal line,
Right.
where Parker Washington was there to snag it for the touchdown.
Touchdown, and they all cracked
Yeah,
up.
it
They
was
were all
hilarious.
laughing.
But the play, I mean, how about that pick Savage made?
I know it.
Whew.
He looks like a nickel to me. doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He does not look like he's little. He does not look like a safety. He looks like a cornerback who should be playing inside. I thought the same thing. That was a heck of a play, and
Unbelievable interception that Savage had.
Yeah, he had a good play. Monteric Brown had a really good play on a ball near us in the near corner. No, it's been a lot of fun to watch. Parker Washington, that was kind of the play of the day. I was thinking about this too, and we say this about young receivers all the time. Young receivers are the best, or the best future stars in May, June, July, and then don't make teams. We've seen that all the time. But I will say, Elijah Cooks is bigger. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
He's bigger and thicker. Parker Washington looks like a real player.
It's going to be a tough cut.
If Josh Cephas
cut.
is the player he looks like he might be, it's a hard cut. Because I was thinking about this. If obviously, barring any injury, Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, and Brian Thomas Jr. are the starters. We all know that. Devin Duvernay is going to factor somehow. He was running routes. He's quick.
He's the fourth.
Yeah. He probably is the fourth. Today, he's probably the fourth guy. Then you have Parker Washington. Then you have Elijah Cooks. Then you have this guy Josh Cephas. Then
you've got old reliable Tim Jones.
Yeah. Who's might be the best special teams player of all of them. And if you're the 6th receiver, that matters. It really matters because you're probably not playing in the game very often.
Right.
So anyways, it's interesting stuff. That stood out to me today. And also at some point today, you touched on this yesterday. We brushed over it probably too quickly, and it fits your interview today. But wouldn't it be something if the defensive line was really good? And we touched on that, but we had other stuff yesterday.
Right.
But wouldn't that be something if we're going to hear from one of them in a minute? But wouldn't that be something if the defensive line was really good?
I think it's got a real chance. Let's just start with the obvious. Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker will be rushing the passer every play.
Hand on the ground, with their hands on the ground, not standing up, dropping, to your point, standing on a 2-point stance. You don't know if they're coming or if they don't. Big difference.
Huge difference. So, it starts there. Your 2 most electric playmakers on defense are going to have more of an opportunity to affect the quarterback and rattle him and create turnovers and chaos. I don't know. I am worried about Eric Armstead in terms of his health. Doug does believe he will be fully go to start training camp. I will feel much better when I actually see him practicing.
Yeah.
Because the 49ers are a very smart organization, and obviously we know what he meant to them as a person. So, that's a concern. But if Eric Armstead is ready to play physically, if he's got another year left, obviously, we know what kind of a player he can be. And I think Devon Hamilton was well on his way to a great year before he had this, freakish medical issue arise that thankfully he has survived and moved beyond. Roy Robertson Harris. It's just you go down the line, then obviously you get to the new guys. What if Mason Smith is able to give them something 15 snaps a game that are high quality, where he's able to showcase that burst, agility, length, and affect the quarterback up the middle, collapsing the pocket. I tell you another guy that from a frame standpoint, I mean, we haven't seen pads go on yet, but from a frame standpoint, Travis Gibson absolutely looks the part.
He does look the part.
I mean, it's you add all these things in, and again, we know it's the NFL. The probability says not all these things are going to work out, but the key in the NFL is having so many options available that even if 6 of those options work out, but 3 of them don't, you're still in an excellent position. And it looks like with this defensive line, they have that chance.
Right.
I'm not saying they're going to be
agree.
there. But the biggest thing is Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, go get the quarterback.
And I'll tell you this, too, to the defensive line. They've got a lot of pieces now. They're big, strong, and long. I'll tell you the guys that are really – the 3 guys that are important. Think about this. There's, let's say, there's 50 now, 45 now, or 40 now. But when the season gets here, there will be 26 defensive players, right, on the team, give or take. Whatever, 25, 26. 25 defensive players on the team. Of those, only 3 of those players weigh 300 pounds or more. Only 3. Okay? They got a lot of 3 techniques. They got a lot of guys like Roy Robertson Harris, and they got Eric Armstead, and they've got, obviously, Tyler Lacey, who we're going to hear from in a minute, can play in there. They got a lot of those guys. But they only have 3 guys that are 300 pounds. Devon Hamilton, who's 330. Jordan Jefferson, who's probably the weakest of the 3, is 315. And Mason Smith, who might be the best of the group at some point in his career, is 310. They only have 3 guys that are that big. So those guys have to be able to replace each other. Those 2 inside spots, the Devon Hamilton and Jordan Jefferson are definitely shades. They're nose guards. Mason Smith, I think, will play a lot of nose, but he can play either. But you got enough 3 techniques, you know. So, but they're the 3 big, big physical run stuffing guys. So we'll see. Tyler Lacey was the topic of your interview. Set it up for us. What's Tyler like?
Well, I'll say that I really enjoyed getting a chance to meet Tyler. I never interviewed him during his rookie year last year. You know, he played 154 defensive snaps, so about 15% of the time. So he just never really factored in. So it was great getting a chance to talk with him. I think the biggest thing for me with Tyler is I thought the scheme change was going to be a problem for Tyler Lacey. I thought it would be a problem for Abdullah. And we haven't heard much about Abdullah in terms of any of the coaches or anybody really, going out of their way to hype him. Tyler Lacey has been mentioned unsolicited by coaches.
Right.
No one's asking about Tyler Lacey. He's not from here. He didn't play at a local college. So when Tyler Lacey is getting mentioned, it's because coaches are bringing him up
Correct.
Organically, which to me always means way more than, and again, this isn't a criticism. We all have to ask questions, but, it's one thing if you ask a coach, how is X looking? Well, they're probably going to say X is looking really good. They're going to give you a positive answer. But what I kind of give triple points to for the player in terms of credibility is when the player is mentioned without being asked. And that is what's happened with Tyler Lacey. And really, to be honest, it was why I wanted to talk to him, because I kind of thought maybe he was going to be an afterthought, maybe, somebody who it wouldn't be a great fit here. But Tyler Lacey has risen to the challenge.
Here's Hays Carlyon earlier today with the former Oklahoma State Cowboy.
We are pleased to be joined with Jaguars defensive lineman Tyler Lacey here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Glad to be out here with the guys back out here at OTAs. Put the pads on for the mini camp. Not the pads, but, we're out here working around like we have the pads on. So it's a good out here with the young guys and getting the feel of it.
You've gotten a lot of high marks from the coaching staff throughout OTAs, Tyler. What do you think has been some of your keys to growth and success in year 2?
Just keys and growth, just listening to the guys. Just picking up on everybody's information and just being more aware and watching more film and just being more dialed in and honed in on my craft and just working on the little things to make me better.
How nice was this offseason just to have a chance to breathe a little bit? You finish college, you go through the draft process, you get drafted, you come here. There's never really a break. How much did you need some time just to kind of get away and catch your breath?
Oh, yeah, I needed that time. That time after the season, it was a good time to go back home with the fans, spend it with them, relax, take my mind off football for a little bit And then when I came back, just got right back into it.
And your family, you said, was in Dallas, is that right?
I'm from Dallas, Texas, so my whole family's down there, and I just got a chance to see them, see my niece, hang out with them for a little while, and just relax.
That's cool. And that's where you'll be heading back after mini camp ends tomorrow?
Yes, sir. I'll be headed back down Thursday on a flight.
Very cool. Tyler, what kind of physical development have you made this offseason? What did you sort of prioritize? Have you gained weight?
Oh, yeah, I gained a few pounds on me. Just trying to get my strength back and just working on my speed, just trying to get better as every way aspect I can.
What sort of vision has Ryan Nielsen shared with you in terms of how he feels like your skill set can best be used in this system?
In the 3 technique, I mean, I could get down at the nose. It doesn't matter where they line me up. I'm ready to play right there.
Tyler, who have been some of the veterans that have helped you in the year now that you've been a Jaguar?
Really, the whole D-line room. I mean, from Roy to D-Ham to Adam to Led, everybody just coming in together. I mean, I feel like our room is getting better, and everybody's just blurting out what they see, especially when we watch a film. But people blurting out what they see or what they saw in the past to help us and the younger guys in the room.
Have you gotten to the point where it's kind of slowed down for you, life in the NFL and being a pro?
Yeah, after this past season, life kind of the NFL life kind of slowed down for me, and I was able to come in from OTAs and have already came in, played. So just having the knowledge in the game and just going out there and just putting it all together at this time and just to open up the field and open up my vision on the field. Yeah. You
played in 15 games last year, 154 defensive snaps, so you got a taste. Mm-hmm. What were you able to extract out of that experience to see this is the things I have to get better in?
The feel of the game. I mean, just bringing what I learned from college to the NFL and seeing what works and what doesn't work and what I can get better at. That right there is my mindset.
It seems like you guys have a fun group. Who are some of the guys that keep it light in the defensive line room?
Everybody, all of us. We're just fun. We always crack jokes, laugh, but then at the same time we're serious.
The Mavericks going to come back and win this series.
Oh, yes, sir. Mavericks all the way. Mavericks in 7. Mavericks in 7.
Tyler Lacey, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck to you, and have a great time back home with your family.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, it seems like Tyler Lacey is fitting in really well to that defensive line rotation. So, again, that would be a huge boost for the Jaguars if that 4th-round pick from 2 years ago, if that ends up working out, and he can be a guy that gives them that 15, 20 snaps a game of high-level play. Be a really savvy pick.
Great work with the Jaguar defensive lineman. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll meet our Duval County Scholar Male Athlete of the Year. That's next, so stay with us.
The Frangie Show
from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Expect acceleration.
He's got him. Oh, there we go.
Sunday at Iowa Speedway. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower. 1010XL.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Now, any good lineup needs power. When I needed a power connection for our new Walk-Off Charities baseball park, I found the perfect partner in Ricketts Electric. You're going to love these guys, I'm telling you. The Ricketts family has been providing commercial and residential electric service for years. So call my buddy Zach Ricketts today at 904-320-5960, and you can find them on Facebook as well. You will trust them. That's Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them today at 320-5960.
This is Hays Carlyon for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Imagine a majestic cut of beef that commands attention the moment it arrives at your table. At Southern Steer, now through Father's Day, get your tomahawk steaks for $24.99 a pound.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm Agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Is your roof ready to weather the storm? Don't take chances with your home safety. Trust the experts at Universal Roof and Contracting. Get peace of mind knowing your home is protected from the elements. They'll ensure your roof is in top shape to handle anything Mother Nature throws its way. Right now, get 10% off a re-roof or repairs, plus a free wind mitigation with a full roof replacement. Call 855-ROOF-HELP or click universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Tee it up with 1010XL.
Oh, yes. Kick in birdie.
Coverage of the U.S. Open on 1010XL is presented by Vaughn Motor Group.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Smooth sailing and a smooth taste of Vida de Luis, an all-natural tequila made with volcanic spring water and aerated to provide a smoother finish. Go to VidaDeLuis.com and set a course for smooth living today.
Hacker here, and I just got back from a cruise to the Caribbean, and it was incredible. I actually saw a few folks from Jacksonville who recognized me, and did they want to talk sports? Nope. They complimented my weight and how I look so different after dropping 65 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss. I even had strangers that overheard some of those conversations that started asking me about Awaken 180. I took some fantastic pictures with my family that I would have otherwise avoided because of my weight. If you're overweight, you know what I mean. I knew I was going to go off the program for a bit because, hey, I deserved it. But my Awaken 180 coach had my back. She showed me how to take a break for 9 days and not put all the weight back on. It was easy. I ate all sorts of food, but the difference? I didn't keep going back for seconds and thirds. My body didn't need it. The kicker? I didn't gain a single pound because my metabolism is on fire. If you want a program that works and coaches that understand, do what we all did and go to Awaken180weightloss.com.
Duck Rooter is the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, and we want to help you protect your septic system. Think about this. What would happen to your car if you never change the oil? Septic systems are no different and should be pumped at least every 3 years. Lack of maintenance is the #1 reason for septic system failure. Call Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services today to schedule your pumping.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home this week at 1-1 Financial Ballpark. Indianapolis in town starting tonight. Tomorrow is 5-Star Goodness Everywhere Wednesday featuring Catholic charities and Bring Your Dog courtesy of Forever Vets. Get the weekend started with Coors Light Thirsty Thursday Pride Night, and we'll have fireworks Friday and Saturday. Baseball all weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Hey, let's go!
And now, this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
Welcome back to the program. Each week during the school year, we have our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. And then once a year, we do get to honor our Duval County Scholar Athletes of the Year, our male athlete of the year. It's Caleb Williams from Ribault, and he joins us right now. Congratulations, Caleb. How are you, man?
Thank you. I'm doing great.
Great having you in here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got a big smile on your face. It's kind of a cool thing, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell us a little bit about you. You're a basketball player. Tell us. We'll get to where you're going to college in a minute because we've been talking about that off air. But tell me a little bit about your basketball career at Ribault and why it was special for you.
It was special because I get to share my moments with my dad. My dad's the coach. He pushed me hard. I'm glad that I did some great things this year and last year. And it was just for him, make him a winning coach and make me a winning player and have a great future.
What a great story to tell a few days before Father's Day, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Great story.
What's your favorite game, Caleb?
My favorite game is the last game in the gym. It was a lot of emotional people in there because it was the last game and we had to do our big one for them. We beat BK by like 50 to go to state, and everything was just going our way that night. We was hitting bad boy threes. We was playing great defense. The crowd all with us. They was saying, "Go Ribault, go Ribault," and it just felt great.
Caleb, you were the star. You were on the varsity team 4 years, starting point guard for 3 years, and a captain for 3 years, which meant you were a captain when you were a sophomore. How important is leadership to you, and how hard is it to lead other guys?
They got to trust you at first. So when they see you working hard and they see you trying to pick them up, they going to really just follow. And it's just a role. Leadership is the key thing to winning, and that's why I possess in my ability.
You've done a magnificent job in the classroom as well. What would be your advice if there's a young person listening to this that's getting ready to start their high school career? What's some advice you can give them about how to balance both athletics and academic excellence?
Time management and having a great support cast around you. My mom pushed me very hard to do well on and off the court, and also my dad also. So we just make sure I have like a calendar, and wherever due dates, we just write them down and then make sure you get the work done, because you can't be a dummy and play on the basketball court and expect to go to college.
Caleb has been the Northeast Florida Player of the Year, two-time Gateway Conference All-Tournament team. I could go on and on and on. Great stuff. But that leads us to college. You have decided to go where? Tell us a little bit about it.
I've decided to go to Lafayette College in Eastern Pennsylvania. It's a great environment, great atmosphere, and I'm just ready to get down there and kill.
Why'd you pick Lafayette?
I picked Lafayette because of the coaches, the coaching, the system, and just also the great people that's down there. I can make big connections, and the school also. It's the Patriot League school, so you got to be somewhat smart to be down there, and they gonna help me on and off the court.
What was your visit like when you went up there?
It was crazy. They played their rival Lehigh in the tournament game, so I get to see the atmosphere, and it was just everybody anywhere. It was just great to be down there and watch great basketball.
So what are your goals? What are your goals when you play when you play at Lafayette? What's the plan? What do you hope for?
I hope just to make some noise. Hopefully be a freshman, first team, win the conference, of course, because I'm all about winning, and just building connections down there, keeping my grades up, and just staying 10 toes down and just be great.
Caleb, do you know what you want to study?
I want to study in sports management, but they don't have that there, so I'm thinking about like liberal arts or just really engineering, one of them.
What do you see yourself doing down the road if you're not playing ball? What else interests you as a career and a life for you?
I see myself being on the business side of basketball. I'm great with math, so I'm great with numbers. So if anybody needs a statistical person, I'm at your front door.
So you'll still, that's cool. So even if you're not playing basketball, you'll be involved in the sport and involved in sports overall.
Yes, sir.
Well, that is really cool stuff. Well, Caleb Williams, you are very deserving. From Ribault High School on his way to play at Lafayette, to continue to play an outstanding point guard, an outstanding student, and you've represented Ribault very, very well, and you've represented this. It was a good year of student athlete.
Absolutely.
And so it was a hard pick to get to be the student athlete on the male side. You've earned it, man. Congratulations. Good luck at Lafayette.
Thank you.
All right. Caleb Williams, who is our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Year and very deserving from Ribault High School, and that is really a cool thing. He's on his way up to play at Lafayette, and so it's exciting for him. We're excited for him. I did ask Caleb before we had him on, could he handle the cold weather? I like cold weather a lot more. So he is ready.
He's ready.
He's a neat guy. And he's very deserving.
That's a good kid for Lafayette.
You better
sure.
believe it is. And by the way, it comes from a great program.
Yeah.
Ribault. I mean, I don't care what era. I don't care when you went to high school in Jacksonville. If you're there now or if you're there 45 years ago when I was there, or longer. That's what we're talking. The Ribault's always been good. Ribault was great then. Ribault was great when you were in high school.
Absolutely.
And Ribault was been great all the way in between. So it's kind of a cool story. I want to say one thing too, and I say this a lot, but I'm gonna say it again. When we started this radio station in April of '07, one of the things that was really important to Steve, our general manager, and all of us, but really Steve was kind of the driving force in this, is to be really involved in the community. He's a big high school sports guy. If you listen to our radio station, nobody does high school sports better. I mean, nobody's more committed to it. If you listen on Friday nights, we crush it. And I'm bragging, but I don't care. We really do. This is an important thing for us. I'm honored that it's on our station. I'm honored and so excited that we get to do it on this show, because we've done it forever. And that is a really cool thing. And we award the winner and try and help them get through college a little bit. I'm serious about that, Hays. That's a big deal to me, and I'm proud that our radio station does it. And meeting kids like Caleb, what a neat guy. What a neat guy.
And all year, it was just so consistent. The not just the excellence on and off the court and in the classroom, but just the personalities. I mean, it just gives you such optimism for where we're going, because obviously we've got these great young leaders that are going to go into the industries that that they choose and that excite them, and it's really cool to see. You hear a lot of negative talk about generation younger people, and I think it's incredibly refreshing to each week we get to meet somebody who is made great choices. The thing that they always come back to is the importance of that time management component, and that's hard even for adults. To be able to really manage your time well, and that is, if there's a hack to life and having a good life, it is time management. If you can master time management at a young age, I give them all the credit in the world, because that usually takes a very long time to even have a remote grasp on, and these scholar athletes do a magnificent job with it.
That's a great point, and you are so right. That statement is dead on. It's hard. Time management is hard, and you're swayed in a lot of directions, and particularly if you're someone like Caleb, who's got great personality and a great student and liked by everybody. Sounds like his parents kept him on the straight and narrow, too, which is really good stuff. One other tip of the cap is to my friend Tammy Talley. She's one of my dear friends. She's a great friend of the radio station. She is the athletic director for the DCPS. She works so hard. She gets to all these schools. She's formed a committee that picks these scholar athletes of the week, end of the year, and Tammy's one of the best. She's on my board at walk-off. She's one of the best people I know. I mean that's
absolutely,
and she works really hard at this. So another good year of student athletes, and we're proud to be part of it. We'll take a break. Hays, headlines are next, so stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
And initiate sequence.
1010XL.
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 Repeat.
1010XL.
I'm sure many of you guys feel like you wish you could be as fit as you were in your 20s. The dad bod is really tough to shed. I'm Dr. Lance Snyder, and I did something about it through Dr. Rappaport at the Jax Aesthetic Center. I'm active, I played college sports, and I still work out a few times a week. Nothing worked. As a doctor and a dad, I want to be around as long as possible and feel good about my body. Dr. Rappaport put together a personalized treatment plan that worked. It was easy for me to make appointments, get to those appointments, and get back to work in time. I also recommend the Emsella chair for any urinary issues or ED. Dr. Rappaport has state-of-the-art treatment options for men. And the M-Sculpt Neo is an abs blast. 20,000 crunches in 30 minutes. Give yourself your own gift this Father's Day at the Jax Aesthetic Center. Build muscle and lose fat. Call or text today, 904-808-2455. That's 904-808-2455. You won't be sorry.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit,
It's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Bolt City Heating and Air is here to keep you cool this summer. Anytime, any day, whenever you need fast, reliable air conditioning service. Their friendly technicians have fully stocked work vans so they can get your AC done on site the same day. Rely on a family-owned Jacksonville-grown company this summer to keep your home cooling system working smarter, not harder. Experience the bold difference. Visit BoldCityAC.com to schedule your service appointment. BoldCityAC.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy Subs and Sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a Dandy. And do it today.
June is Men's Health Month, so I just got a total body MRI scan. It was really simple, quite comfortable, and it only took about an hour. Total body MRI scans for abnormalities that may need attention soon. Be proactive with your health this month. Call Ackerman Cancer Center to learn more about total body MRI.
Don't just watch the position, learn the position.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer, and he knows.
We invite you into the lab so that you can truly learn the quarterback position.
Friday mornings on The Drill, brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
This is Hays Carlyon for QC Kinetics. Are you not able to enjoy this summer as much as you want because of joint pain? Well, give my friends at QC Kinetics a call at 904-274-5522 for a free consultation. They're serving the Jacksonville area with locations in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move again, pain-free. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. Stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation, 904-274-5522 in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. That is QC Kinetics.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round! It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie, JJ LaSelva. I am Hays Carlyon. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Hopefully you will not need them, but if you or a loved one are ever injured, that is who you need to call. Give them a call at 251-1111. That is Harrell & Harrell. Frank, we were at Jaguar OTAs today. One thought that popped in my head, again, seeing Josh Allen go through this as one of the few proven veterans that is out there. I mean, today it just looked like he's playing a different sport.
It really does.
Than everybody else.
You know what's funny about him? And he's always been a good player. He was a top 10 pick. Had a good rookie year. Then had some years that were okay, not great. Then went and got himself in great shape. Then had the mammoth year last year. You know what, Hays? I noticed that too today. I think not only is he in great shape and a great player, but now he believes it. And maybe he always believed it, but there's something different.
Yeah.
He's a humble guy, so his swagger is a humble swag, but it's there.
Yeah, it's
that
a good
level
call.
of confidence, it's really there for him, and he's feeling it now.
Yeah, I agree. Very well said. This was interesting. So, offensive coordinator Press Taylor, a week or two ago when he met with the media at the start of OTAs, he was asked about the offense and said that the phrase he used was, we stripped it down to the studs in terms of really building it back from the ground up after the collapse last year. So he was asked today to expound upon that, and this is what Press Taylor said.
More so than anything was our run game, of just the terminology, the structure, the progression of the way we teach it, because that's something we haven't been as good as we want to be. And so moving forward, we kind of pared it down. What's really important to us? What do we want to be really good at? What have we been good at? How do we build this thing, rebuild this thing from scratch? And that's really where our main focus was. I think guys are seeing that. I think the progression, the way we've taught it so far through the offseason has really stuck with guys. There's probably a clear understanding. There's probably more of things fitting in certain families to where the rules, the techniques are carrying over from play to play.
3.6 yards a carry last year, Frank. That's got to get better.
Well, two things. Number one, they've got too good of a lead running back to not have a better running game than they had. Travis Etienne is a really good player. I think Tank Bigsby's going to help the cause, but Travis Etienne is a really good player. He's a 1,000-yard back. I think he's a Pro Bowl caliber back. He's too good of a back to have not run the ball better. Part of it, they got to block better. Hayes, their offensive line wasn't a very good run blocking line. That's just a reality. But let me give you one other thing too. Both Brian Thomas Jr. and Gabe Davis are separators. They both scored a lot of touchdowns. They've both scored a lot of deep touchdowns. Having a deep threat, and people don't talk about this enough, the ability to stretch the field has such a major impact on your running game because the defense has to back up and play deeper. It's common sense. If your secondary and even your linebackers are dropping because you have a vertical passing game, running is so much easier. So they got to block better, but I think those separators will affect the running game as well.
I agree. Let's get it around the league. The Jets are being the Jets again. They have a star quarterback in Aaron Rodgers who did not want to attend today's mandatory minicamp. And instead of doing what a normal organization would do, which is excusing him for it, the Jets made it clear that it was an unexcused absence for Aaron Rodgers, which means he will be fined.
What are you doing, Jets? He's been in the league 86 years. At some point, the Jets should say, you know what, we're fine. You don't even have to really excuse him. You can privately fine him, but don't make a deal out of it public. What are you doing? What are you doing? The Jets are being the Jets.
No doubt about it. We've got some big video game news, Frank. I know you've been anxiously awaiting who will be on the Madden 25 cover. Where your wait is over. Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers star, will be the Madden 25 cover athlete.
You know what? I'm not much of a video game guy, but we've all paid enough attention to know what a big deal that is. Perfect choice. Perfect choice. He's dynamic. He's a dynamic football player. He's not running back, receiver, this, that. He's a football player. And I would say, I don't know a lot about video games, but if you're trying to find a charismatic, dynamic, important, really good football player, I can't think of anybody better.
And do it now before he breaks down, because a year from now we may be having a totally different conversation. Right. He's still just 28, but boy, that position, when they lose the step, they lose it quick. So we'll see what kind of season Christian McCaffrey has, and we'll see if that Madden curse arises. Getting it to college football, Florida has some kickoff times. Texas and Ole Miss. The Texas game is on the road, Ole Miss in the swamp. November games, both at noon.
Yeah, and that means 11 a.m. Central Time start in Austin. I like that. I really like the road game. Any coach will tell you the thing you never want is night road games. Crowds are louder at night. Crowds are crazy. Crowds are liquored up at night. But what makes it hard, teams tend to be lethargic if they're sitting around in a hotel all day. That's why coaches always try to figure out the psychology of it, Hayes. Do we go through a walkthrough? Do we go to the stadium and do a walkthrough? I've seen teams do walkthroughs in hotel parking lots just to keep from sitting around all day. The one thing you don't want your guys doing is sitting around all day. Well, guess what? If you're playing at 11, that means your pregame meal is at 7. That means you're getting taped and on the way at 8. So there's no time. There's no time to sit around all day. So I like the Texas game being on the road. I like the Texas game being that it's on the road being a morning start.
The field for the College World Series is in place. North Carolina State defeated Georgia last night. So on Friday, we will have North Carolina facing off against Virginia at 2, followed by Florida State against Tennessee at 7. And then Saturday, we will have Kentucky, NC State at 2, and then Florida against Texas A&M at 7 o'clock.
4 SEC, 4 ACC, 2 won it on the road, NC State and Florida. What a good, if you're from around here, if I'm living in Portland, Oregon, I'm probably not all that excited about it. But if you love baseball, and I do, and if you love college sports, and I do, and you're from around here, and I am, I can't imagine a better College World Series, a more fun College World Series. There's 4 opening games. Obviously, I'll be locked into the Gators because that's my team. But, that Florida State-Tennessee game. I told you yesterday, by the way, I thought both Florida teams would play at 7 o'clock, even before they announced the time. It just made sense. Those were the better games for TV, and I can't wait to watch them all. I really can't.
Yeah, it's going to be outstanding. Getting into the NBA Finals, Luka is taking pain-killing shots, while Porzingis for Boston has a rare injury in his left leg. Frank, what is more worrisome?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. The Porzingis injury is more worrisome because Luka's proven last game that he can play through it. That doesn't mean Kristaps can't, but we now know Luka can because he just did. He was taped up and on all this medication and tape, and he went off. So we know he's capable of playing through it. I don't have any reason to believe Porzingis isn't, but we haven't seen that yet, so I would think that one's more troublesome.
The U.S. Open pairings are out for this week. Boy, the USGA really was in the zone with this. Scottie Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, and Rory McIlroy all paired together. They will start in the afternoon at 1:14. Tiger Woods will go off early on Thursday. He is playing with Will Zalatoris and Matthew Fitzpatrick. I didn't realize this about Tiger. He has not competed in the U.S. Open since 2020.
How about that? I didn't realize that either, but I love the Open. And I am a big believer. I hope the Open gets back to brutal. I mean,
it's going to be brutal.
I hope brutal. I hope. I mean, in Pinehurst.
They're already showing videos of how fast the greens are at Pinehurst.
I hope it's brutal.
So
I hope the winner. I hope 3 under wins it. I think we're over. I think the days of over par winning it are over.
Yeah.
But I hope 3 to 5 wins it, not 12. And I can't wait to watch.
It should be a blast, no doubt about it. Major League Baseball news: Phillies catcher JT Realmuto will have knee surgery and is going to be out for a long time.
Big injury. I think they may be the best team in baseball. They've got the second best record to only the Yankees. They're really good, but he's number one. He's a really good player. He's one of the best offensive catchers in the sport. He's also a leader. He's tough. They respond to him. That is a major injury in Major League Baseball, Hayes.
The Panthers, Frank.
Oh.
I mean, no one
Team
can stop
Prisco.
them. Team Prisco. They win Game 2 in convincing fashion, 4-1 over Edmonton last night to take a 2-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Final.
How much did you watch?
I watched a little. So Jean went back to help her mom. She had a knee appointment today. So since I did not have the
resident South Florida sports fan,
Florida Panthers fan in the house, I watched a little of it here and there, and it was fun. But boy, Florida. I mean, they're killing Edmonton.
Yeah,
the first 2 games they've outscored them 7-1.
Yeah, they're really good. They've been good for a few years now. So, like we said yesterday, I don't know a thing about it, but I read enough to know that it would have been a big upset had they not won. They haven't won it yet, but it would be a big upset if it hadn't started like this.
Frank, what legal recourse can Joey Chestnut see?
Oh, Hayes! I mean, it's such a gigantic story. I mean, we got to bring in Hastings for this one. Are you kidding me? I mean, Joey, 16-time winner, 8-time in a row. What is the world coming to? He was a spokesperson for Impossible Foods. Hayes, let me tell you what you do.
Nathan's didn't like that.
You don't diss Nathan's, okay?
No.
I mean, there's a couple things you don't do. You don't spit into the wind, You don't tug on Superman's cape. And you don't diss Nathan's Hays Carlyon on a Tuesday. I'm still rattled by it. I can't lie.
It is very controversial. We will see
Ah.
if cooler heads prevail. And Joey Chestnut.
Do you still have it without Joey
That's
Chestnut?
the thing. I mean, and don't you have to have a huge asterisk if you win it, but Chestnut isn't there?
I only want to watch it for one reason, because I love it when the announcers say he's got to be careful not to reject. It's my favorite phrase in sports. Be careful not to reject, okay? You got to be careful. You can't eat too fast, Hayes, because you might reject.
Yeah.
You can't reject.
You can't
And,
do
I
it.
mean, you just can't. I mean, you can't be competitive as a hot dog eater if you reject.
You know, that's a great point by Hayes. Will this be like the Houston Rockets winning the NBA Finals as Jordan plays minor league baseball?
Do they count it? That's a great point.
I don't see how you possibly could.
No,
but,
you can't.
We'll see what the Major League Eating Commissioner.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm assuming they have one.
Yeah.
Don't you have to go by fats?
Yeah.
Even if that's not like. I mean, don't you just have to go by fats if you're the Major League Eating Commissioner?
You do.
I mean, we had Fats Domino,
right.
who was obviously sensational performer way back when.
Well, but yes, you
wasn't there Minnesota Fats?
Yes, there was, and he was a fantastic
pool player
billiards
and the
guy. Number one, yes, that's a call of the day. You do have to go by Fats. And by the way, you guys both made a great point. It'd be like the Houston Rockets winning it. Well, not only that, I want to be around in 10 years when the Netflix documentary, The Last Belch, comes out, okay? Because I'm not locking into all 8 of those episodes, just so you know.
Oh, well done. Happy birthday to 49ers legendary quarterback Joe Montana, who turned 68 years old today. The four-time Super Bowl champion threw 45 touchdowns in his career during the playoffs. When I was a kid, he was the greatest one. I mean, you talked about greatest quarterbacks ever, and with Joe Montana, and he obviously won 4 rings and just an incredible quarterback. So clutch and so poised.
Yeah. He is now the second greatest quarterback of all time. In my mind, he was a no-doubter. With apologies to Marino and Unitas and Bradshaw and Staubach and Elway, in my mind, there was no doubt he was the greatest quarterback of all time until TB12 came along. I still believe he's the second greatest quarterback of all time. I truly do.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we will get you out on this musical note on this date. Back in 1986, it's just hard to believe. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Wow.
Is now 38 years
No, it's not.
old.
You keep making this stuff up.
Isn't that crazy?
How about that? Danny Werfel's 50 and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Where do you come up with this bogus stat?
Witchcraft?
Yeah, witchcraft.
It really is amazing. One of obviously the best comedies to come out of the 1980s. Directed by John Hughes, Ferris Bueller's Day Off cost $5 million to make, but made $70 million at the box office, and has been basically it's been popular throughout. It seems like it holds up today as well. So kind of has that cult following still, but was incredibly popular when it came out back in 1986.
Bueller, anyone? Bueller, well done.
Thank you.
Headlines are good as always. We'll take a break. Hour 2 is next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Do your film study, work on the field, get in the weight room, and guys will follow you, especially when you get on the field and you make plays.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. The NBA Finals are underway, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide, cash out or let it ride. MyBookie makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays, and new boosts are now posted each day. The Mavericks are a 1.5-point home favorite over the Celtics in Game 3 on Wednesday. The over-under is 212.5 points. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using 1010XL as your promo code when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Summer starts now at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet with our summer sale. It's not sink or swim. We have vehicles for every budget and every need, starting as low as $79.99, and you won't get burnt. We offer 20-year 200,000-mile protection on new and 7-year 100,000-mile protection on used. Plus, we can really cool things off with our 30-day exchange policy. Start the summer off the way you deserve it with our summer sale at Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
The saying goes, the grass is greener on the other side. Well, that is actually true if your neighbor installed artificial turf. Lauren Brooks here from my friends at Sunshine Turf, a family-owned local company that will take your backyard dreams and turn them into a reality. Caleb can design anything from putting greens to pet runs, and if you have a pool, you'll definitely love maintenance-free turf around it. Visit sunshineturf.info to get a free quote today. Sunshine Turf. That's sunshineturf.info.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
International soccer returns this summer. Don't miss Premier League clubs Wolves and West Ham in Jacksonville for the Stateside Cup, July 27th at Everbank Stadium. Tickets as low as $35 at statesidecup.com.
Attention real estate agents, loan officers, and mortgage professionals. Trust your real estate closings to the expertise of St. John's Title, LLC. As a board-certified attorney-owned and operated firm with years of experience, St. John's Title provides the utmost of precision and professionalism. With conveniently located offices and in-home remote closing options, our customer-first approach ensures a seamless process tailored to your timeline. Join our team of experts and 5-star testimonials from customers across the First Coast. Choose St. John's Title.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Jaguars rookie cornerback Jarian Jones was a guest on Monday of XL Primetime and spoke about his emotions after his undefeated Seminoles missed the college football playoff.
That was one of the most heartbreaking moments like I've ever experienced in my life, because that was one of those moments where when we came back from playing Oklahoma all the way up to that moment, we've put the work in. You can't pinpoint anything during the season, but like, that's why they didn't get in, because the name of the game is to win, and we won against anybody that was put in front of us, you know. So like, it was one of those moments where it was like, what else could we have done? Like, it hurt me bad.
Jarian Jones with XL Primetime. It's 90 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnicht Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We sure thank our friends from the Nimnicht family of dealerships. Nimnicht Chevrolet is located on Cassett Avenue at Park. Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway. the best in the business. I've been buying my cars there since 1982, and I'm going to keep right on doing it. I trust them. I've told the story many times. Billy Nimnick Jr., God rest his soul, taught me how to buy cars. I'd never done it before. I had just gotten out of college. I'd never bought a car for myself before, and I learned how to buy my car at Nimnick, and I've been buying them there ever since. I trust them, and I'll always trust them. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cast. Nimnick Buick GMC is located on Phillips Highway. Billy Nimnick's one of my dear friends in the world, and I love the work they do. I really mean that very sincerely. Glad you're with us. We begin the second hour of the program. So the SEC TV schedule's out. Florida, Hayes, September 21st, noon kick in Starkville. I like that.
Yep, that's good.
I think that's advantageous, as it were. So I think that's a good thing for the Gators. I'll find some other
By the way,
Gators.
if he loses that game, he can stay in Starkville.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know it's going to be that easy, but we'll see. I'm trying to find. Let's look at some other Gator games first of all. The Gators play. We know Miami is a 3:30 kick. That's on ABC. Samford, what's their nickname? Bulldogs? The Bulldogs.
So, yeah.
I think 3 Bulldogs this year. The Bulldogs come calling. 7 o'clock on SEC Plus. Texas A&M, that's a 3:30 kick again on ABC. At Mississippi State, noon kick, either ABC or ESPN. Central Florida, we know it's either 6, 7, or 8, right? We know it's a night game.
Correct.
We don't know what time or where. We know it's a night game. They play the Vols at 3:30, but that could be a flex game. Tell me how that works. It's either 3:30 or 8. Is that what they're saying?
That's what I would think. That's the only variable that they want to see how the teams start, and then they'll decide. But at least it gives you somewhat of an idea of when to expect that game.
Kentucky the very next week is the same thing. So the Kentucky game the very next week is the exact same thing. And I'm glad they're doing it that way. I think that's a good way to do it. So the Kentucky game, it's also that means it's either 3:30 ABC, right, or it's or whoever else. So but anyway, so Tennessee and Kentucky, the 12th and the 19th, are either 3:30 or 8. Georgia is 3:30, per usual, just not on CBS. It's on ABC. At Texas, noon kick, which means 11 o'clock Central Time. LSU, the 3:30, 8 o'clock flex. Ole Miss is a home noon kick. You like it?
Well, no.
Yeah,
but I think it it evens out because you go to Texas and play an early start there. So yeah, and how can you not have scars from the 12 o'clock game when Ole Miss came in 2008 and upset Florida?
Yeah.
So yeah, the Swamp is to play at noon in the Swamp is not overly tough. To play at the Swamp at 3:30 is incredibly tough. To play there at night is a complete snake pit.
Right.
But there is a massive difference in the Swamp between noon and everything else.
Totally, 100% agree. And I probably disagree a little bit with you. I think the hardest is the night. I think it's hard to win in the Swamp at night. You think 3:30 is harder?
I don't
equally
think
hard?
There's as big of a discrepancy.
I agree.
I think
there's a big noon. If you talk about if you want to go play Florida for the same reason I said I'm glad Florida's playing in Texas early. You want noon. It's not. It doesn't have the fire.
It doesn't.
I totally agree with you. There's probably a lot of places, not just Florida, and of course they don't yet have a start time for the game at Florida State. So by the way, the Florida State basketball game, that's a Friday nighter a couple weeks before. Did you see that?
Oh, cool.
That's a Friday nighter before.
I'm looking at the SEC schedule on their website for Saturday, September 14th.
Yeah.
And it's just it's so weird not to see CBS anywhere on it. But this is a pretty good triple header. So at noon on ABC on Saturday, September 14th, you're going to get LSU at South Carolina. Then the 3:30 game, you're going to get Texas A&M at Florida. And then the 7:30 game, you'll get Georgia at Kentucky. So that's just one channel. Obviously, there's other games
that's pretty good
going on in the conference. But, yeah, that's a pretty good triple header to watch. If you go to, let's see here, if they have anything else any other week that really looks like it's locked in. Yeah, they're still kind of slow releasing
the game,
a good bit of it. But that
the games where there's, excuse me, Hayes, there's times of note, Georgia at Alabama, maybe the game of the year in the SEC is the 7:30 ABC game. That's on September 28th. That certainly got my attention. Hard not to, right?
Right.
In terms of games that are set. But a lot of these games are flex games. Georgia at Texas, Alabama, Tennessee, games that you know will be good. They're flexed. So a lot of the games that you think could be really, really good games. LSU, Florida, we already said it. So I would think a lot of these games, it's better than it was because you'll know sometimes, but there's still some games. What I do wonder is it still a 12-day and a 6-day window? In the past, they announced every game time, other than a handful before the season, 12 days out, which meant Monday, 2 days after a game, not the next week, but the week after. But sometimes they held that 6-day window, which meant you got it the Sunday before the game. What, twice a year I think you were allowed to do that?
I think so.
It's something like that.
Look, again, this isn't necessarily kickoff times, but just looking at the SEC slate. So Saturday, October 12th, you get at noon South Carolina at Alabama. So that time is locked in. They just don't know if it's going to be on ABC or on ESPN.
Right.
Then at 3:30, you get Texas, Oklahoma. Then at night, this is all it has. It's somewhere in the night. They're going to have Ole Miss at LSU. So that's, again, should be a great game there. You also get Florida at Tennessee that day.
How about that?
So when you start looking through the inventory, and this kind of goes to a larger discussion, but looking at the SEC football schedule in bulk, they don't need any more teams.
Right.
I mean, why would they need more teams?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it just like I'll give you, Saturday, October 8th or October 19th, South Carolina at Oklahoma, Auburn at Missouri, LSU at Arkansas, Kentucky at Florida, Texas A&M at Mississippi State, Alabama at Tennessee, Georgia at Texas.
Wow. Yeah.
Does that look like a league that needs to add more teams to it?
The only reason you would add anything is if there was appreciably higher dollars that you get from adding them. And then it's okay to have even more good, but your point's a valid one. At some point you got to stop. I think that's kind of where you're going with this. It's, you don't already it's hard to watch all of them. Let me ask you this. Guys like you and me and many others, but guys like us, people like us, are such die-hard fans of Southeastern Conference football. I mean, guys like us will watch, back in the old Thursday night days, if Auburn played Mississippi State, we'd watch the whole game.
Absolutely.
So, and there's a lot of people in our city that are like that, raised on the SEC football. Will it feel different this year? That's a dumb question. It will feel different this year. Let me revise the question. How different will it feel, not having CBS do the 3:30 game? Not having that.
That's just
awful.
Such a loss.
But also the fact that Texas and Oklahoma are league games. I still remember it took me a while for South Carolina and Arkansas in the 90s and Texas A&M and Missouri. It took me a while. Now, I got there.
I'm still getting there with Missouri.
Yeah, right. I mean, it took me a while to get that. But it is going to be even harder now because they're teams of prominence. None of those four teams, South Carolina, Arkansas, Missouri, even Texas A&M, in my mind, were not teams of prominence. A&M's had some good years.
Have any of those teams ever won the SEC since they joined? I don't think they
have. Missouri's won the East a few times.
They've won the East.
But no.
And South Carolina's won the East.
Right, but no, none of them have won.
Yeah.
So
Arkansas's won the West.
But even before they got here, I don't think they were teams of prominence. I know in 1993, A&M played Notre Dame while FSU played Nebraska for the championship. So they were really good. They've had some teams were good. They've had some really good teams, but none of the four, A&M more than the other three, but none of the four have been teams of prominence. So now here comes Texas, Oklahoma, two of the ultimate teams of prominence in college football. How different do you think it'll feel?
I think it'll feel really different if one of the two or both really contend for the crown. If you are looking up at the SEC standings and Texas is the first team you're seeing, or the second team if they're undefeated with Georgia until they get to that meeting, Oklahoma it will be weird as well. But I just don't have the expectation that they're going to have that kind of season where they're going to be top four in the SEC. But that's what I think will be so weird is if, again, for the sake of the argument, since Texas appears to have the stronger club this year, if Texas is playing in its first year for the SEC championship, if it is Georgia, Texas, or whoever, Texas in the game, I think that will be incredibly bizarre.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
But
it could. I mean,
it could.
Georgia and Texas are both good. In fact, that's probably the odds-on bet.
It'll probably be the odds-on bet, but I
Yeah.
do not think that'll be the game.
Yeah. So
I don't think Texas or Oklahoma are going to get there in their first year.
Yeah, and right, well, again, we'll see because I have said what you kind of are implying, and I'll stand by this. You have no idea what that's like going through it every. I mean, and I'll give you a perfect example. Oklahoma State and Clemson had not an easy time. Clemson was in a brutally good baseball league, but Oklahoma State and Clemson both finished very high. Oklahoma State and Clemson. Clemson was the 6th overall national seed, which meant they were one of the 8 nationals. Oklahoma State was 11th maybe? I think 11th. And they went and played the 11th place team. Let me say this again. The 11th place team in the SEC. The 11th place team in the SEC. And both got beat at home. And that because you just don't know what it's like. And I mean, it would have been like the 80s. We've talked about this a lot, Hayes. It'd be like you think you've got a good basketball team. We'll plop you down in that Big East when you had St. John's and Villanova and Georgetown and Providence and Syracuse and on and on and on, right? I think there's a similarity there. So, again, Texas in the past could beat Oklahoma. And the next 3 games were Iowa State, Kansas State, and Baylor. Well, the next 3 games now after you beat Georgia, if they do, might be Auburn, LSU, and Tennessee. That is just a different world. And until you've lived that world, you don't understand what it is.
You're absolutely right. I do think the league gave Texas a break this year because while they played Georgia, they don't play a lot of the SEC real traditional heavyweights. And Texas is getting Florida, which we believe is going to be a down Florida. So, or certainly there's a chance that it's going to be a bad Florida team. So when you look at it, it will be interesting to me as they move beyond year one and that gauntlet starts to settle in more, because you'll never convince me the SEC did not do a big favor to Texas in terms of how they laid out their schedule this season. And again, I get it. Texas is playing Michigan, so I'm sure they said, hey, guys, just so you know, we do have an out-of-conference game against Michigan, so let's try to keep this within reason. But again, when you look at Texas's slate, it's, I think, a pretty good slate once you get beyond the fact that they do have to play the best team in Georgia. But they don't play, I would say the majority of their conference games are against teams that are expected to be in that bottom half of the league.
Let me tell you the other thing that I'm going to miss is divisions. We talked about missing CBS. We talked about how odd it'll feel to have Texas and Oklahoma in. I like divisions. I understand the reason why not to do it, so everybody gets to play on everybody's campus and you play more different teams in the division world. You didn't play the East didn't play some of the teams in the West and vice versa very often, and I get it. If you're in a conference, everybody should play everybody as much as you can. I understand the rationale. I'm not suggesting, Hayes, they got it wrong. I don't think they did necessarily get it wrong, but I'll miss divisions. I like division. I like division play. I like trying to win the division. I like standings. I'm baseball fans, man. We look at standings. So you?
I don't. I'm glad it's gone. It just guarantees that we're really going to have an SEC championship game that is going to be
the 2 best teams. Massive
every year. There have been, you wouldn't think it, but because of how strong the SEC has traditionally been, but there have been some stinkers in that game. I mean, Jim McElwain made that game twice and couldn't give Alabama even a shred of a game.
Right.
We saw South Carolina make it one year winning the East, and Cam Newton put up like 50 by halftime. In the 90s, Florida played Arkansas. They weren't even remotely close to being on the same level.
Missouri twice.
Missouri's made it. So, I mean, to me, I like the idea that it guarantees you're not going to have that 9-3, 8-4 team that somehow won their division because they went 6-2 and have the right tiebreakers. So I like the fact, because now in perpetuity, the SEC championship game is going to basically be probably 2 of the top 5 teams in the country.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I understand the rationale was that, but it was also so you could play more teams. That was probably the main rationale.
That I don't really care too much about.
Yeah.
You know, the whole argument of, well, every kid should get a chance to play in.
Yeah.
You know.
Because they don't stay 4 years anyway. But that's the reason they gave for why they did it. You're right. Your point of having the two best teams probably makes it look better, more competitive. But I guess I've just always been kind of conditioned that sometimes a team in a bad division gets in ahead of a better team in another division. That's all pro sports are like that. And I guess I wouldn't want to see pro sports change that. So
one thing that getting rid of the divisions does do, and this may not be a good thing, we'll see, but it does bring in the chance that you could have two teams play 3 times in the same season. If, let's say, Georgia and Texas, who play in the regular season, play in the regular season, they both make the SEC championship game, so they play then, and then they both end up deep into the playoff, theoretically you could have, like the perfect example is Ohio State, Michigan.
Right.
Because I think the way the Big Ten is structuring theirs is they're going away from divisions too, I believe.
Right.
So you could have Ohio State, Michigan literally 3 times in the span of like 5 weeks.
Yeah, in football that's really weird. Basketball it happens, but in football that's really odd. Yeah, so you're right. So that's a downside, I suppose, of some sort. You know, and nothing's better though when you're good than beating them 3 times.
Oh.
I'll still the 2014 basketball season. I don't know what was better, the Gators going 21-0 in SEC play, or beating Kentucky all 3 times as part of the 21-0. You know that?
Yeah.
Because Kentucky's been so good, so it'll be fun to see. The SEC schedule, for the most part, is out now. Some flex games, but you have a pretty good idea of when the games fall. I'll take a break. I want to get into the Caitlin Clark stuff. We haven't talked about it much on this program. It's been talked about all across the country. I got a lot of thoughts on it. I want you to weigh in as well. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
There's a new one-stop shop for all things Jags. Subscribe to the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube channel. One-on-one interviews with players, practice footage, podcasts, and more. If you're looking for the best Big Cat coverage around, look no further. 1010XL Jaguars on YouTube.
It's time for Bravo Rama at Nimnik Buick GMC. Find the next used vehicle with Car Bravo, a better way to shop certified used vehicles with transparent pricing. Save big this month with $1,000 customer cash on Car Bravo's certified light-duty full-size pickup truck. And get this, 0% APR, yes, 0% on select Car Bravo certified vehicles. Now, buying a certified used vehicle has never felt better. With Car Bravo certified, Nimnik Buick GMC certifies all makes and all models. Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford, all makes, all models. That's what you get with Bravo Rama, and that's what you get with Car Bravo. Nimnik Buick GMC is proud to be number one Car Bravo dealer in the entire Southeast region. So head to Nimnik today. You can shop online at Nimnik Buick GMC or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. Nimnik and GMC, we are professional grade.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Every day is a Big Chief Tire Day at 1010XL. Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Our friends at Big Chief Tire are all about ensuring your safety and peace of mind on the road. Right now, they're offering $50 off a new set of tires, so you can finally take care of that tire replacement you have been putting off. Plus, enjoy free tire repairs and replacements for up to 3 years with their protection plan. Visit BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment at any one of their 5 locations. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
I'm sure many of you guys feel like you wish you could be as fit as you were in your 20s. The dad bod is really tough to shed. I'm Dr. Lance Snyder, and I did something about it through Dr. Rappaport at the Jacks Aesthetic Center. I'm active, I played college sports, and I still work out a few times a week. Nothing worked. As a doctor and a dad, I want to be around as long as possible and feel good about my body. Dr. Rappaport put together a personalized treatment plan that worked. It was easy for me to make appointments, get to those appointments, and get back to work in time. I also recommend the Incella chair for any urinary issues or ED. Dr. Rappaport has some state-of-the-art treatment options for men. And the M-Sculpt Neo is an abs blast. 20,000 crunches in 30 minutes. Give yourself your own gift this Father's Day at the Jax Aesthetic Center. Build muscle and lose fat. Call or text today, 904-808-2455. That's 904-808-2455. You won't be sorry.
A tomahawk steak is more than a meal, it's an experience. Dads, we've got you covered at Southern Steer Butcher. Now through Father's Day, get your tomahawk steaks for $24.99 a pound.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Nothing has a 10-year warranty except for a new AC unit from Vons. V-O-N-S. Vons Amazing 10. This is legit. A full 10-year warranty. It covers parts, labor, and refrigerant. That's an unmatched commitment they make to their customers, while others will charge extra for weekend and same-day emergencies. Not at Vons. No extra charges. Just great service when you need it, whether your unit needs to be repaired or replaced. Remember, if your AC won't turn on, just call Vons.
There are so many ways you can catch me, Mia O'Brien.
Helmets and Heels.
Weekdays, noon to 2.
And on 1010XL's video and social channels. All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
It's Mo Time with Mo Bryan.
On 1010XL.
Raise the stakes on excitement at Best Bet, your go-to spot for unbeatable entertainment and unmatched hospitality. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the brand new Best Bet St. Augustine. No poker expertise? No problem. From high-stakes poker to casual games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and Fortune Pie Gow, there's a game for everyone. Hungry for more? We're serving up delicious bites and craft cocktails, and we're open late. For details, visit bestbetjax.com. That's bestbetjax.com. Best Bet, your go-to spot for a thrilling night.
Hey, it's Matt Hays, and I've got some exciting news from Leonard Truck Outfitters and their new location on Beach Boulevard. Stocking brands like Real Truck, UWS, WeatherGuard, Carry-On Trailers, and much more. Grand opening celebration June 28th, starting at noon with tons of special promotions and giveaways like a brand new golf cart.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
You like fruity drinks?
Yeah, sometimes.
JJ, you like fruity drinks sometimes?
I love fruity drinks,
fruity
dude.
drink.
I'm #1 fruity drink guy.
Yes.
Absolutely. I have no issue with being that dude.
Yeah. Same here. I don't drink them very often, but yeah, I don't either. So my buddy Lenny on the golf course made a new drink, and we actually got Natalie, the world's best a car girl, who's in right now, is probably headed to Omaha. Her brother pitches for Florida.
Oh, wow.
So she watched the first game. She was the cart girl on Saturday. Then she flew up to Clemson to be with her family and watch Florida clinch. So she's probably going to Omaha. Natalie, shout out to Natalie. But they came up with a drink: grapefruit Gatorade, vodka,
good start,
and Fresca.
Oh, wow.
Now, I got to be honest, I had no idea Fresca was still around.
Bubbly.
How about a Fresca?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Is it a flavor, like a certain flavor, Fresca? Or is Fresca all one flavor? I'm not even sure.
Is it?
I just know it means
can't be there. Number one,
fresh and
they
Italian.
can't have a bunch of Frescas, right?
Yeah.
So my buddy Lenny, I said, they still have Frescas. Oh, yeah, we drink Fresca all the time. I didn't know. Did you know?
I did not.
Okay,
Do they still make Tab?
Yeah, I don't know. But they make, grapefruit Gatorade, vodka, and Fresca.
I'll have to try that.
It was delicious. It was
sure, yeah.
Discontinued tab was in 2020, by the way.
So
Sadly.
So we're on the golf course. It was 7,000 degrees, right at 7,000 degrees. It was either the two hottest places in the world were our golf course and the equator. Those are the two hot places.
Cutter.
Okay, and I'm telling you, it was so hot, and we kept drinking these fruity drinks, and it was fantastic. So I got a new fruity drink now: grapefruit Gatorade, vodka, and Fresca.
I like it. I'll have to try it.
I'll give you one.
Okay.
That I'm like hot on right now.
Yes.
2 ounces of orange juice.
Okay.
2 ounces of cranberry juice. I know it sounds odd, but you're gonna mix those.
Okay.
About a shot of a clear rum and a shot of a coconut rum.
Ooh.
And it is like the best
that's pretty
summer
good.
drink,
Yeah.
man. It's so refreshing.
You sound like a bit of a fruity drink expert.
I
I
am.
had no
dude.
idea.
Oh my god!
He's using ounces and everything.
I got a whole list at home.
He went ounces, didn't
Yeah.
he? So that is fantastic. If you go ounces, then you're serious.
Because you got to make it right. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to get the ingredients at just that's how the
Yeah.
drink tastes good.
So okay, but again,
I've got a new drink for you guys.
Rum and Coke.
Pour a bunch of Jack Daniels into a glass
and drink
then
it.
throw a little splash of Coke on
and then
top
drink
of
it.
Yeah.
And then you drink it.
And then
So
you drink it.
I've heard of that one too. So there's that. Have you waited? How do you feel about all the Caitlin Clark controversy story, Olympics, and Angel Reese and the other girl that kind of cheap shot her?
Yeah, shoved her.
Yeah.
Kennedy something.
Yeah, Kennedy, right? Where are you on all of it?
Where I am on all of it is I don't pay enough attention to the sport to feel like I can give an educated opinion on what they should be doing in women's basketball. Would I like to see Caitlin Clark in the Olympics? Yeah, I think it. I don't know that I'd watch it anyway, but I would be at least curious to see, how much is she playing when she does play? How is she doing? Because I'll have zero interest in it. I don't think I've ever watched a women's basketball game start to finish, ever. And so, to me, it's I understand it from a marketing standpoint why people are up in arms, because clearly it would bring so much attention to the women's basketball team. But I will say this, they don't seem like they're really hurting for talent. They've won 9 of the 11 gold medals that they've competed for. They've won 54 straight Olympic games.
Right.
So clearly we have a very dominant program. And so, yeah, I think it seems like when you get beyond the sizzle of it, that the team is already obviously incredible. So why would and I guess my point is, it doesn't seem like you really need a rookie to come in and do much for you. So from a sports standpoint, I totally understand why she's not on the team, because it seems like the team has been dominating the globe for a very long time, and I have to assume is a huge favorite to once again do so.
JJ, the whole Caitlin Clark thing, not just the Olympics, the whole thing. What have you made of all of it?
I agree. First of all, with the Olympics, 1,000% with Hays. I mean, would it be cool for her to be on TV for NBC? Yes. But is she one of the top 12 players? I have no freaking idea. But the other stuff is clearly like jealousy to me. I mean, like the way that the players talk about her after games and press conferences, the way that they foul the hell out of her, it's pretty clear that these girls really don't like that Caitlin Clark is getting all the attention. And even though she's bringing a lot of money and whatever, I guess they're on better flights now. I don't know the specifics of how they've changed the league, but I know that there is some stuff that's different than what it was a year ago.
Yeah. So the two competing stories. And by the way, I'm going to agree with all you guys. I'm in agreement with both of you on the Olympics. The Olympic team knows what they're doing. They came out today and said her lack of experience. I get that. I have no problem with that. So
they'll win with or without her.
Yeah, right. And so I totally agree. I have no problem with the Olympic thing, and I would have had no problem either way. But the two competing storylines here are, one, players should be grateful because to your point, JJ, she's made life better for them. She's made life. The league gets more attention than it's ever gotten. That's proven. The number of views, that's proven. The attendance in television ratings has proven that. That should lead to more money, which should lead to better accommodations. To JJ's point, I get it, and so appreciate what she's done for your league. Appreciate what she's done for your league more than resent her. I also will tell you that human nature is to resent when someone gets all the attention. People say, well, when a player comes into a men's league, it hasn't been as much like that. Well, in fairness, that's because they were already getting attention. They're still getting the attention. These women have never gotten it, and now someone else comes along that's getting all the attention. So if you didn't, I'm not saying that the resentment is justified. I'm saying the resentment should have been expected. So I understand that. The X factor to me in all this, the cheap shot should never happen. What people say is their business. If you want to say negative things, say what you want. But the cheap shot and making a non-basketball play, as they called it, was terrible and should have never happened. But the X factor to me, so I understand both sides of they should appreciate her because she's elevated the league and its exposure. But it's human nature to resent somebody who's getting all the attention when you've worked hard and never gotten any. I understand both sides of that. The X factor is this, to me, Hays, JJ. She seems like a really good person.
She's handled it great.
Works hard, good teammate, good player, good when interviewed well, doesn't seem to be chippy despite all this. That's why you wish she would be a little more embraced, is because on top of if she was arrogant.
Yeah, if she was going back at Angel Reese in a press conference, if she was saying, hey, the reason you guys are on charter flights is because of my ass.
Correct.
But I don't even know what she sounds like. I've never heard her talk.
Yeah, I've heard her plenty of interviews, but it is benign, it's respectful, and I think that's the shame of it to me is, by all accounts, this is a really nice person and a really good person. And by the way, I don't doubt that everybody else in the league is too, but you'd like to see a few more people get her back. At least I would, because of that. Not because I don't understand the resentment, because I do, and not because I think they don't appreciate how she's elevated the league, because there's certainly some in the league who don't. But hey, she seems like a good person who's handling it, to your point, very well, and it's a shame that's not appreciated more, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, she's handled it beautifully, and it seems like almost every week there's a new Caitlin Clark controversy that she has nothing to do with, whether it's something that has been said about her, whether it's a physical play on the court, whether it's the Olympic snub, however it's been going, and I mean it's been tough for her. I do think she's handled it with a lot of maturity, and I'm sure one day she'll be on the team. I mean, if she's what people believe she is going to be, then she I would expect is going to be in 4 years going to be right at the front of that team. And so I do think that there's something in sports about having to earn your way there. And again, if the women's team never won the gold and was a pretty poor product, then it would be like, what are you doing?
Right. If they needed an injection of life.
It's hard for me to criticize an organization that all they do is win the gold medal pretty much every time the Olympics is held,
right,
and haven't lost a game in their last 54 games in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I think they know what they're doing, so I'm not going to sit here and, particularly when I haven't watched an iota of any of this,
right,
and pretend that, this is what they should be doing for the Olympic roster.
I'll tell you this too, by the way. She seems to have the right personality. I know I talked about this when it happened, but if you didn't see her on Saturday Night Live with Michael Che, did you see it?
I did.
You went back and watched it. It was really funny.
Yeah.
She was very. Did you see it, JJ?
I didn't. I didn't even know she was on there.
Yeah, it was about a month ago.
Yeah, she did. She was on.
She hosted?
No. She did a Weekend Update cameo.
Okay, I see.
Because Michael Che makes fun of women's basketball,
right,
all the time. So they had her on with him. It was well written. Mm-hmm. But it was charming.
So she made jokes about him, which was really funny.
It was really funny, and he was really funny about it, and it was really good. So I mean, the point is, she fits well. She's not arrogant. yet she's got a good personality for that stuff. So it's again, that to me is, if she's doing all she can to handle it well. It's a shame some of the nasty stuff has come out. We'll take a break. 1 segment to go. We'll wrap the program after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update, brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The U.S. Open Golf Tournament gets underway on Thursday. It's the third major of the season, and it's being held at Pinehurst No. 2 in North Carolina, considered by many to be the toughest course hosting the U.S. Open. Scottie Scheffler has won 5 of his last 8 tournaments that he has entered, including this year's Masters and the Memorial Tournament last week, and he's the betting favorite to capture his first U.S. Open title. He's plus 300 to hoist the trophy. Xander Schauffele, who won the PGA Championship in May, is plus 1,000. Rory McIlroy won the U.S. Open in 2011, is at plus 1,100. This update brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Did you know Duck Rooter is the area's go-to plumber? A 5-star Google-rated company, Duck Rooter can take care of all of your plumbing repairs and upgrades. Need to switch from septic over to city sewer? Call the Duck. How about water heater repairs and replacement? You're just a duck away, or call away, for Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
This is David Lane. After suffering through several painful injuries to my shoulder, back, and knees, I've taken my issues to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and without fail, they've been a tremendous help toward solving my problems. If you have any orthopedic situations, don't procrastinate. Take action today. Give those aches and pains to the pros at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. You'll be glad you did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Hays Carlyon for Kingfish Pest Control. Are mosquitoes turning your outdoor fun into a full contact sport? It's time to call in Kingfish Pest Control. I can tell you from my own experience, they are the MVPs of mosquito elimination. Call Kingfish Pest Control today and get an unbeatable 50% off your first treatment. That's right, sign up for a full season of lockdown coverage and get 50% off your first treatment. Don't let mosquitoes steal your home field advantage. That's Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting!
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Roll-and Lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
For the lead, see if you can pick the hottest golfers.
Yes, indeed.
U.S. Open Fantasy Golf. Win $1,000 of jewelry from Beards Diamonds. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors and MyBookie. Enter at 1010xl.com.
International soccer returns this summer. Don't miss your chance to see teams from the biggest league in the world in Jacksonville as they compete for the Stateside Cup. Be there when Premier League clubs Wolves and West Ham take the pitch July 27th at Everbank Stadium, home of the Jaguars. With the series trophy on the line, competition will be fierce. Tickets on sale now for as low as $35 at statesidecup.com.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide, cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays, and new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sports book. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
If you're searching for a new fence installation, challenge yourself to find a fence company with more positive online reviews than Superior Fence and Rail. With over 3,000 reviews and a 4.9 out of 5 review range, Superior Fence and Rail is, well, superior. So take the online challenge or let their professional team show you what superior service looks like. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
American Electrical, Northeast Florida's highest rated electricians, is hiring, and they're looking for people to train for careers. It's not just job training. They're giving you a license that no one can take away from you, training you for jobs that are always in demand and will offer you a peace of mind financially and for the future. Once you know a trade, you'll always be employable. All the details are at American-Electrical.com, and with their American Electrical Academy, if you're selected, you'll learn the electrical trade absolutely free of charge. American Electrical Contractors, powered by professionalism.
Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to bring your friends out and enjoy our spectacular golf course, which is carved out of some of the highest elevations in North Florida. Hidden Hills Golf Club, unlike any other. Check us out, hiddenhillsgc.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, now cool down. What did we cover today? We certainly talked a little Jaguar football. You heard from Tyler Lacey, another one of those terrific Hays Carlyon one-on-ones. We certainly enjoyed that. We talked a little bit about Mac Jones, the fact that the team could be very good along the defensive front. We were happy to cover that today. We talked about the Gators in the College World Series. 9 of the last 14 times. That's an amazing stat. We certainly got to that today. We talked a little bit about Caitlin Clark, a serious topic, that hopefully that settles down and she's just another good player rather than someone that's embroiled in so much controversy. Certainly one of our topics today. And the big news, we got to it right out of the gate. Joey freaking Chestnut banned from the hot dog competition. I'm not sure the world will ever be the same.
I mean, did Faye Vincent make this decision? I mean, who bans Joey Chestnut?
It's unbelievable. I mean, the world will stop turning. I mean, unbelievable. Joey Chestnut. By the way, I don't remember the guy's name, and I apologize if you're a friend of his or a family member or if you're him. But there was one time one of the competitors, one of the top 10 were from Orange Park. Do you remember this?
Kind of.
And so we had him on the show. I had him on the show.
Was he a big fella?
No, none of them are big.
Well, Badlands Booker's pretty big.
Okay.
Like the older guys, the ones who first started it, they're all pretty
the pioneers.
Big. Yeah, exactly.
No,
the founding fathers.
But we had one. But we had what was his name? He was from Orange Park.
Was this recent or
no?
Many years
in
ago?
the other building. So this had to be 10 years ago, probably.
Okay.
He was in Orange Park, and it had a short name. I don't remember. But anyway, so real nice guy. Could not have been nicer. Real nice guy. And he had competed in it. And he finished in the top 5 or 6 or something. So we had him on the air, and he talked all about competitive eating.
Did he have a Polish last name, Joey Brzezlovic?
No, wasn't that? It was a short name. So, but
my favorite odd guest is not that they're odd, but that they do something in the world of sports that's kind of unique. Is Baloo has that slapper guy on that has the funny name?
Austin Trout or something like that. Austin Turpin. That's what it is.
But doesn't he have some nickname that is hilarious? Anyway, it's That's the number one for me. Is the slap champion.
Big Daddy Turp or something like that.
That's it.
God, I wish I could remember.
Oh no, but the best part about the competitive eaters is when they talk about the conditioning. I'm not kidding. They talk about the conditioning. I'm like, well, and you have to prepare for it, and Hall Hunt. That's what it was.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now.
Hall Hunt. That Hall Hunt was on the program. I mean, so I told you it was a short name.
Yeah, short name. You're right.
Hall Hunt was on the.
He had 34 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes. 63 Crystal Burgers in 8 minutes.
How about that?
23 grilled cheese in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So when I
and he went to UF, by the way.
Yeah, and when I turned in the resume, I had him on the program. Okay, just so you know
right.
that. Okay, I want to make sure we're clear about that.
Well, I know the Times Union is working to update their top 100 local athletes of all time.
Hall Hunt,
He better be on it.
Hall Hunt, yeah, but he could not have been nicer. He's a really good guy, and he was funny, and he talked about competing against Joey Chestnut, so it was kind of a cool thing. So I've had Hall Hunt on the program, so there's that. So there you go. By the way, some people are just grossed out by it. I mean, some people. One time when we had him on, I think somebody sent me if there was Twitter back then or whatever, or an email or something. How dare you glorify those guys? It's gluttony and how could you?
What is that?
How can you glorify gluttony and people that don't care about their bodies? And
no more fun of any kind.
These guys do care about their bodies, though. Like they work their ass off. Like like you said, all the good ones are all in shape. Like Joey Chestnut's got like a 6-pack, I think.
Yeah. So
if only we hadn't let all those people eat the hot dogs,
right?
Yeah,
the world's problems wouldn't exist.
Correct. Exactly right. So that's what it seems like. All right. Hey, one more day of practice in the Jags go away. You expect anything particular for tomorrow?
I'm curious if they actually have it. You know, you
well,
always wonder
now
about
you know,
that.
Wouldn't you know by now?
Well, sometimes the coach likes to tell the players that morning is sort of a kind of a fun thing. But I would imagine
I'm guessing they're going to have it
because he's already released the established veterans.
Right.
I would think they'll probably have it. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's been fun, and it'll be the last really, I'd say, low intensity workout that we see for many months, because when we're back July 26th, obviously there's a ramp up period of a few days, but in training camp, even those first couple of days, I mean, you feel it.
We're gonna do our loser Monday for the U.S. Open. JJ can't take Scheffler or Cam Smith. You can't take Koepka or Rory. Gosh, I can't take Rahm or Matsuyama. I don't know how I'm going to compete in it.
Everything's falling into place for you.
Oh, it's just been a good week. But it's been.
Don't take Kristaps.
Folks, that is our program. We'll be back tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. Brick Paloo is next. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.